Tippy time, my damies, Topcat here and welcome to the channel. Today's build is focused on Nightfalls and Grandmasters. I wanted to create something that could tackle all that is chucked at you. I didn't want to have to change my weapons and mods and playstyle around every time I enter a different strike. This build would deal with match game, running all three shield affinities, and will deal with unstoppables, overloads and anti-barriers. We've got health regeneration and we can lock down and control the map. And this build has DPS in spades with crazy amounts of rocket damage just sitting in our back pocket just ready to be delivered. If you enjoy this build, I'll make sure to leave a dim in the description below, and don't forget to smash that thumbs if you're enjoying. And being that said, let's get into the video. We begin with our exotic, the Secant Filaments. Its perk, Devouring Rift, casting an Empowering Rift will grant us Devour. Devour gives us our full health back when we get a kill, which makes it safe to shoot while standing in our Empowering Rift. But most importantly, damage dealt by you or your allies whilst in the rift will overload combatants. This turns our rocket launcher into an instant delete for those pesky champs. The Secants don't generally see a lot of game time, but they are purpose built to deal with Nightfalls and the numerous champs that they chuck at us. I'm maining the Hidden Vengeance with impact casing, stacks of velocity, and both overflow and vorpal. This thing shuts down champs and bosses alike. Whatever the singe of the Nightfall is will dictate the RPG that I use, so I'm also going to bring a Hothead or a Blowout for Arc Singe, and a Tomorrow's Answer or a Red Herring for Void options. For all that is unstopped, the Bastion will stop. This kinetic fusion rifle has unstopped baked into it, so it just shreds through champs and mages. It's nice to run a special weapon such as this that will just rip and tear both near and far. And when I say far, I mean far. You'll be pleasantly surprised at the ranges this thing can unstop champs at. We're using the anti-barrier bow mod. Feel free to use pulse rifles if this is more to your playstyle, but I've been really vibing with bows lately because Dragonfly got buffed this season and it really is delicious. I've crafted the Tripwire Canary. This lightweight bow handles great, has vice speeds, but what really wows is the combination of enhanced Dragonfly and enhanced Frenzy, giving me that great precision damage and area of effect damage. You could also use the Stag. It too has arc affinity and just hits a little bit harder. The Strident Whistle is a great option if you're looking for a solar affinity. And Void we have Under Your Skin. This too has enhanced Dragonfly. It is a precision frame, so it does come with a little bit more of a punch than the Canary. Also, there are still some of you out there who aren't aware that anti-barrier will go straight through Vex, Cabal, Scorn and Hive shields. For our mods, I'm running a Siphon mod. Use whatever affinity your energy weapon is, as we want a steady source of orbs. Taking Charge mod to charge us up with light. Supercharge will allow us to get 4 stacks of Charge with light, and we'll be using them for not 1, not 2, but 3 Argent Ordnance mods. This gives us increased damage and reload speed and uses 1 stack per charge. By stacking 3 of these, we have a massive 35% damage buff. I prefer this to High Energy Fire or Phantom Might because it's extra DPS when we want it on the weapon we want it on. As often with High Energy Fire, you might accidentally use it on that Dreg before you get to kill the champ. For our seasonal mods, I'm using Advanced Scout. Champions use Stun, take additional damage from teammates. This mod is great here, as with this build I'm generally getting about 80% of the stuns, making it easy cleanup for my teammates. Lucent Finisher. Defeating a Hive Bearer or Champion with your finisher spawns heavy ammo for both you and your allies. Lord Kelvin's Basilisk. Our Void Grenades will also stun overloads, giving us 2 ways to disrupt these monsters. I've been rocking Bow Dexterity for faster ready and stow for our bows. This goes a long way when you're doing the anti-barrier boogie, as timing your damage and shield breaks properly can be the difference between a dead barrier champ or watching it get all that health back. If you are using a pulse rifle instead of bow, just use the pulse rifle mod in this place. On your chest, use dampeners dependent on the specific strike that you're running, but concussive dampener is always a go-to. For our Void Warlock, as stated at the top of the video, we're using our Empowering Rift. When using an Empowering Rift, it's important to let your team know that you're doing it, as often they'll be running towards it in retreat and they're looking for that pick-me-up of health, and they might get shot in the back when they realize they're not getting their health back. Child with the Old Gods gives us a little void buddy upon planting our rift. When we fire at a target, it's going to launch out there attached to that target. It'll both weaken and suppress that target and all that it attaches to. And with Devour active, every time we kill one of these targets, we're going to be getting our health back. If you shoot and kill a target, your Void Buddy won't fly out, so I suggest shooting the highest health bar target in that pack to send him out, and that will weaken and suppress all of them. Feed the Void will also grant us Devour when we're out of our rifts, when we're just running around killing things with our abilities. This includes our melees, Void Buddy, supers, and grenades. I'm using the Vortex grenade. This is my personal choice, but go with whatever you prefer. Echo of Undermining. Your Void grenades weaken targets. This can push your weapon damage that little bit further for both you and your allies. Echo of Remnants will extend your grenade duration. Echo of Expulsion makes all of your Void ability final blows explode to spread that damage out a little bit. Echo of Obscurity is so good inside of Nightfalls. Finisher final blows make us invisible. This makes for safe retreats in dangerous places, as we want to be using our finisher as much as we can in order to keep our fire team stocked up with heavy ammo. I favour the Cataclysm Nova. Whilst this isn't the strongest of supers, it's not also the worst, and I believe like 4 out of the 6 Nightfalls that we had this season have Void Burn, so this should go a long way for its shortcomings. Just to be wary whilst using it, you don't want to block your teammates' shots with it. But on GMs like Glassway, it's one of the best ways to shut down that wyvern who just snuck up behind you. As stated at the start of this video, the beauty of this build is its well-roundedness. Being able to deal with all shields and all champions, weapons for both close combat and ranged assaults, and the Argent Ordnance setup works effortlessly to destroy all that stand before you. And I love not wasting all that space gas in orbit changing around mods and weapons and things like that when this build has it all covered. If you enjoyed the vid, hit that like, sub if you're new for weekly content. I'll make sure to leave a dim in the description below. If you've got any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment down below. And until next time, tippy tie my damies, what a tie.